Caught in the dance of flirtation and vulnerability, the pair navigates the treacherous waters of insecurity and longing. And their dialogue crackles with tension, each word a testament to the risk of reaching out for love amidst the chaos of their lives. So the play, Begin, it captures this exquisite uncertainty with sharp psychological insight, offering audiences a poignant reflection on the complexities of intimacy in modern relationships. So in the play, Laura and Daniel are a palpable emotional turmoil. They're trying to find their way to love. Sims sat down with some of the cast members. Let's take a look at what their offering is all about.
Is jy seker jy wil hê bly?
Ja.
Jy seker? Maar jy ken my nie.
En?
Welcome to the Market Theatre in Johannesburg. Today we'll be focusing on a play that takes an intimate look at the fragile moments of, a couple trying to find each other, trying to find love, and taking a first chance of love. And what's more intriguing and interesting about this particular play is that it is portrayed by a real-life couple, Carol and as well as Sintane, and they're here to tell us more about this two-hander that takes an hour and a half of a couple at an after party, trying to understand each other, trying to know each other, even though we don't know how the story will end. But what's more intriguing is the fact that they are exploiting their vulnerabilities, and to total strangers, I would say. But without giving much away, let me welcome this amazing couple, Carol and as well as Sintane. Very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's lovely that you're visiting us on our set here at the beautiful, prestigious Market Theatre. What an honor.
Well, it certainly is an honor for me to be in conversation with you. I mean, just yesterday we were celebrating Valentine's Day, and we were focusing on a story that looks at love, that looks at loneliness, and the contrast that is portrayed in this particular play, love and loneliness. How does it find expression in how you tell the story?
Look, I think love is such a thing. Every human wants to find love, and every human wants that connection with someone else. And it's such a universal theme for everyone. And when you don't have it, it's so easy to fall into the trap of loneliness. And in this modern age that we're living in, how difficult it must be to find love when you're a little bit older, when you're in your 40s and late 30s, to find that, and how to gain that connection when you've lived a life, when things have happened to you, when you've experienced different things. It's a lot harder to trust someone. It's a lot harder to try and make that connection, and that's kind of what we explore in this play.
Right. I may not have made so much justice in terms of trying to understand what the story is all about in my intro, but I see the set is the chaos and the aftermath of a housewarming party by Laura. Just take us through what's happening here, and how did Laura and the boyfriend come to know each other?
So we meet Daniel and Laura for the first time just after a housewarming. The last few guests has left, but the last guest just stayed, and that's Daniel. She doesn't know him. She gets to know him throughout these 90 minutes, but they don't know each other. They're strangers. And I think what intrigued me the first time that I read the play and decided that I want to do the play, it was written by David Eldridge, a British playwright, beginning, and then we translated it, Nico Skeepers, the translator, we translated it to Afrikaans. But the thing that spoke to me is what Carl spoke about, the universal themes, but these two people just trying to love themselves as well, and what happens if you are in a space with a stranger? Is it much easier to communicate? Is it difficult because your walls are up? It's late in the evening, they had a bit of drinks, they had a jolly night, but now they're alone. And the luxury of doing this play, because we've had a few audiences already, the luxury of talking to the audiences afterwards, and they say, that was me. That was me a few years ago when I was lonely and I didn't get to know myself, and then I met someone and everything just went better. Or I have a Daniel in my life, or I know exactly where they are in their life. They've lived a life, they have baggage, they have history, they've got secrets, but now it's opening up yourself to meet someone new. And we are in the month of love, where people you know, want joy, they want happiness, they don't want to be lonely. And I think it's just the humanity of the play just spoke to me. It's a slice of life that we're in over 90 minutes, these two people are just talking to each other, but then you find out a lot about these two characters.
Yeah, that's what I want to find out. I mean, for an entire 90 minutes, the audience is just watching the two of you conversing. What is it that Daniel finds in Laura and Laura in Daniel? What is it that they found common ground on?
I think they try and find common ground. So the play starts with them not knowing each other. He's a friend of a friend. He accidentally happened to be at the party. And they obviously lock eyes, and you know when you start flirting with someone, you have that, and he kind of stays as the last guest to see if something's going to happen. And that's what happens in the play, is the evolution of how do you in 2025 make this happen. You're not on Tinder, you're not on Bumble or on these apps, you know, you have to look someone in the eye and speak to them now all of a sudden. And that is the intriguing thing about the play, is that over 90 minutes it's how they let their guard down, you know, and then they put their guard up again when they start talking about themselves, when he starts telling her certain things about him, you know, he's got a daughter, he's divorced, you know, and all of a sudden when he says that, he starts feeling self-conscious again and kind of wants to leave because he's told her things that he thinks she won't like, but she's actually okay with it.
So is that how they let their guard down, like in terms of expressing their true feelings, or in terms of, you know, just exposing their personal details?
Exactly. So, and then when you do that, all of a sudden you wait for a reaction, and there might not be a reaction, or the reaction is what you don't like, and then the guard goes back up, and you want to back out again. So it's that dance that you do when you meet someone about how much information should I give? Can I tell them who I really am? All of that.
Yeah. I think that's also interesting, is that with Laura, she gets tired.
Yeah.
At the beginning, she really, you know, she's confident and she's in her own space. She knows what she wants always, you know. Her friends tell her that they're so jealous of her independence, how brave she is to do everything on her own, you know, her travels and her adventures and her lovers and her evenings out. But for her, it's so empty actually, and nobody knows that, and she hasn't told that to anybody, but the first person she tells it to is to Daniel. And I think that is when everything unlocks, when you're honest with yourself and you're honest with the person that's with you in the room, because then conversations can flow and then the honesty comes out. And I think she's also just so tired to just kind of show people that everything is okay, but she's not okay, you know. And I think that's the beautiful thing about theatre, is that an audience member walks in, they sit down, they make themselves ready for 90 minutes, but it's kind of like an invisible contract that you sign with the actors and the audience members around you, that, okay, we're going to sit here for 90 minutes, and you spend time with yourself, with your own thoughts. And I can't control where the audience's thoughts are going, but it's so amazing how every evening the audience energy is different. You can literally feel that there are people with a history, there are people thinking about these things, and what happens if people are honest, and just, that's when the real conversation starts. So that's the humanity of this play is really palpable and beautiful for me.
What's your understanding of the intention of the director to squeeze everything, the knowing each other stage, in 90 minutes, and then we don't know what happens after?
But that's the thing about A Slice of Life, is because you see them in real time having these conversations in 90 minutes, you don't know as the audience what is going to happen to them tomorrow. And that's the great thing about theatre, is because you can make your own story, and we don't want to tell the audience what to think or to feel or any of that, because that's the beauty of art, is they come and they watch and they make their own judgments and they have their own ideas about what happens to them afterwards. And that's what I love about Slice of Life, is you see these people, you see them have this interaction for 90 minutes, and then you can imagine their life after that. As an audience member, you can say, oh, they're going to have a relationship, oh, they're not going to have a relationship. You can make your own summation, because that is going to be defined by what your lived experience in your life has been.
There was one older woman who said, I
was just wondering, are they going to have breakfast together at home tomorrow morning? Are they going to make breakfast together? Are they going to go out for breakfast? And are they going to spend the evening together? And I was like, yes, that's what we want. We want you to wonder about them.
Oh man, Carol, thank you so much for joining us. And Sintain, thank you, man. Lovely play. And I love the chemistry. I love the fact that you guys just looked at each other's eyes and still feel the same love that you felt 14 years ago.
Yeah, I'm also happy.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, eh? It's been great. All right, that was Carol and Sintain playing the character of Daniel and Laura. A captivating story, an intriguing story of love and loneliness. It's still ongoing at the Market Theatre. It will end on the 16th of February.